Hi, my name is Ryan Hoffman, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about the gut microbiome. The gut microbiome is something that's garnered a huge focus recently due to the systemic beneficial effects it provides to us, and for its composition being an indicator for disease progression. But what if the bacteria in our gut don't only indicate disease and confer health benefits? What if our microbiome is actually killing us? Our story starts here with the gut microbiome. This is the diverse array of bacteria, fungi, and viruses, among other microbes that live in our digestive tract and subsist off the nutrients we consume. These microbes interact with our human cells and produce compounds through metabolism that have systemic effects on the body that contribute to essential functions like those in the kidneys, central nervous system, and liver, to name a few. We know that the gut microbiome greatly contributes to the health of humans, but what happens when the balance of microbes in the gut changes? Well, in that case, this is where we see the gut microbiome's contribution to disease. Dysbiosis in the gut has been linked to a variety of diseases, with most diseases being characterized by an increase or decrease in certain bacterial species in the gut. As you can see here in this infographic, the gut microbiome is implicated in many human diseases, but could these microbes be causing genetic changes that progress to worse diseases like cancer? Given the location of the gut microbiome, it makes sense that the microbes may play a role in colorectal cancer specifically. Colorectal cancer is a cancer developed in the large intestine and is currently the third highest cause of cancer-related deaths in the world. Risk for colorectal cancer has been linked to genetics, lifestyle, and environmental factors. But do the bacteria that call the large intestine home play any role in developing such a serious disease? To answer the question whether or not the gut microbiome contributes to colorectal cancer, we must first ask if microbes have ever been linked to cancer. The answer to this question, resounding yes. There have been many studies that link cancers of various types to microbial infections, and it's another thing that's already been established well in viruses, which also inhabit the microbiome, which can cause cancer, particularly oncogenic viruses like Epstein-Barr virus, hepatitis, and papillomaviruses, shown in the infographic here. Notably, one of these cancer-causing microbes in this study was Helicobacter pylori, which is not a virus, but a bacteria that's a part of the normal human gut microflora, and it's an opportunistic pathogen when the immune system is downregulated, which already shows a connection between our gut microbiome and cancer risk. The next question we need to ask is if we see changes in the microbiome in patients with colorectal cancer, as we see in other diseases. Again, the answer to this question is a 100% yes. A variety of studies have shown that in patients with colorectal cancer, the microbiome composition varies greatly compared to a normal healthy individual. And you can see that in this graphic to the right, where they showed 3 different cohorts, and the red bar showing CRC depicts patients with colorectal cancer. And the changes in the gut microbiome in patients with colorectal cancer has been so widely observed that we are now able to create a consortium of microbial species that are characteristic of a colorectal cancer microbiome. And this is really interesting because it points to a connection between the type of microbes living in our gut and colorectal cancer. Now, we know that microbial infections are implicated in cancer risk and that there's a well-established connection between the composition of the gut microbiome and colorectal cancer development. However, we still do not know if the microbes themselves are causing colorectal cancer, and if they are, how. To conclude this story, I'd like to contribute a piece of my own work. As someone who's researched the gut microbiome for 3 years, I'm extremely interested in the connection between the gut microbiome and colorectal cancer. This paper shown here that I published earlier this year uncovers some information about the cancer microbe connection. And in this experiment, I looked at a metabolite produced by E. coli called colibactin in our gut, and I found that this metabolite produces DNA damage in human cells, which is very important in the context of cancer, as DNA damage is the impetus for genetic changes that turn a healthy human cell into a cancerous one. To sum up some of my main points, we established that microbes have the ability to cause cancer. We established that a unhealthy gut microbiome can lead to the development of colorectal cancer, and we also established that a possible mechanism behind how the microbiome leads to the development of colorectal cancer is through the production of harmful metabolites that cause DNA damage. Now, this raises a few other questions and connections that we can make. Like, the gut microbiome isn't the only microbiome in the human body. Do you think that other microbiomes in the human body can also contribute to this cancer risk? And how do you think we can use this newfound connection to make new treatments for colorectal cancer? And also, the gut microbiome can be influenced by factors like exercise, diet, and sleep. How can we make recommendations to the public to increase the health of their own gut microbiomes? So If we start listening to what the microbes are telling us, we just might uncover the earliest whispers of cancer and change the future of medicine.